Hey guys, welcome to the end of week 2 for our 30-day LSIT challenge. It's a rest day, and I don't know about you guys, but I have a much easier time prioritizing work than I do prioritizing rest. I put off spending time on my mat today, and it left me really feeling just burnt out. I've really begun to notice a difference in the last couple of years between how I feel in my body and how I feel in my mind when I take some time to rest and reflect and do some good self-love and care, and when I don't, I find my patience in really short supply and just kind of a general irritability as I go throughout my day when I don't take the time to prioritize my rest and my health. So remember, it's very important. In fact, it's probably more important to prioritize your rest time and your recovery time than it is your work time. We gain a lot of benefit from connecting to the body, connecting the mind to what we're feeling, and giving ourselves just some space to rest and sink into the present moment. It's incredible the positive impact that just a few minutes in your day, allowing yourself that space, can have throughout the rest of your life. It's just one small little pebble that creates a gigantic ripple effect. So thank you today for joining me, for making some time for yourself to just be here. You may be in your jammies. I'm in my jammies. Just very, very happy to put these on today. It's been an extremely long day. Got a lot going on, juggling, moving, and some other things, and it's just really exhausting. It feels like there are not enough hours in the day, but especially during those times, it's so important to remember that we can make a few minutes of space for ourselves, and it will help the rest of that day go so much smoother. So hop into something comfy and join me on your mat. We're going to start here in easy pose, closing your eyes, getting situated. You may cross your legs your usual way. You could swap them out, do a little yoga for the mind, feel the difference, see how different your legs are. They do and don't meet the ground on one side. And then just take a big inhale through your nose, and we're gonna sigh it out just real loud, let it all out. All that frustration, all the back and forth, all the running late, all the getting things done, just let it go. You can rest your hands on your knees, hands down if you need some comfort. I need some comfort today. Palms up if you want to be open, receive blessings, receive adventure. You can have your hands in your lap for somewhere in between, maybe taking a little mudra. It's just a hand posture. You can make up your own. It doesn't really matter. Just find something that feels good in your body today and be there for a moment. We're going to stay here for a few breaths, just settling in, letting ourselves dump the weight of all those things we've been carrying, all of our to-dos, all of our haven't dones, all of our worries. Just leave them on your mat. Breathe them out. Wiggle the shoulders. On your next inhale, we're going to bring your shoulders up, 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 up. And exhale them, rolling back and down the spine. Chest lifted, crown reaching up towards the ceiling, creating a long line in our spine, giving ourselves space. Thinking about our hips and our knees. Are we holding any tension in our legs? If so, can we let it go? You can keep your eyes closed or you can open them. We're going to take our palms to our knees and we're just going to do some gentle circles, stretching out the side body, the hips and the lower back, just very gently, melting the chest forward as we roll forward, rolling the back in a cat position through the back, melting forward, arching that spine. Let's take it the other direction. Melting forward, arching the spine, melting forward, arching the spine. One more of those. Taking a little shake, a little groovy in the shoulders. Give the body some space, wiggle out the tension, and then bring your feet together in front of you. Just going to take a little hip stretch here. Your feet may be further out or closer in. Don't push to your limit today. Give yourself a little bit more space. So if you're normally here, just push it out a little bit forward. Give yourself a little grace today. We're going to inhale, reach the spine nice and tall. Exhale, imagine hinging from the hips, keeping the back straight as long as you can. And then releasing the head down and letting the body hang. Should feel a nice deep stretch in the hips here. Remember, if you feel any pain in the knees, go ahead and come up and either prop your bum up with a block or scooch your feet out further in front of you to give yourself some more space. And just release here, letting the head hang down. We're going to be here for about 10 breaths, just sinking in, allowing our bodies to relax, activating the parasympathetic nervous system, releasing serotonin into our brains, getting all those de-stressing effects of our yoga practice. Letting it all go. On our next inhale, coming back up to a seat. Wiggling and wobbling our way back up. You can use the hands to bring the knees back together. Thinking about how the sensation in our hips changes after a deep, long stretch like that. Now we're going to come into either a full or half lotus, depending on your flexibility level. So first level, we're going to stretch our right leg straight out in front of us. Bring our left foot in to the crease of our hip. And if you're not there yet, that's okay. You can bring it just above your knee right here. You can use a block to prop up your knee if you need to decrease the sensation. And we're just going to breathe here. Give yourself a little foot massage. Massaging each toe. Massaging the ball of your foot. Thanking those feet for carrying you everywhere you need to go. If you're comfortable with your hip and your knee flexibility, You can bring your other foot in, have both stretch, hear my hip pop. And just give that left foot some love. We so often forget how necessary sensual touch is and how important it is to love and care for our own bodies. It's good to take some time and some space to be reminded that it is okay to touch yourself, that it is good to love your body, and that your body needs that touch and that acknowledgement. It's so, so important to keeping your heart full. Feels good on the toes. Oh, and when you feel satisfied, stretch that leg back out, or if you already had it stretched out, just release the left leg, bring both feet out straight in front of you. Maybe circle the ankles a little bit, and then we're going to take it to the other side. So you can be here, be supported with a block if you need to be. If it's available, bring the right foot all the way into the left hip crease. Relax the quadricep. Keep your right toes a little active to protect that knee. And if you're good here, stay here. Give those toes a massage, and if you'd like a little bit deeper stretch, then go ahead and bring that left foot in and rest here while we give ourselves a nice massage on the right foot. Our toes and our feet do so much work to keep us balanced and moving. A lot of the time they take abuse of fancy shoes we put them in to make them look pretty. And it's important to show some gratitude to our feet for carrying us everywhere we need to go. When you're satisfied, go ahead and unwrap yourself. Turn on your mat. We're going to come into a tabletop position. Just passing through on our way into a child's pose. So take the knees wide here, big toes together in the center. Reach your hands forward all the way to the front of the mat, and then gently sit down and stretch those shoulders out as you relax into your mat. You can also use a block here to prop your bottom up. Give yourself a little bit more space, or a blanket under your knees. We're going to take a little bit more active child's pose here, reaching the fingers all the way forward, pressing down into the mat so we feel a nice deep stretch along the shoulders. And if it's available, go ahead and rest your forehead on the mat. If you need something to prop you up here, you can use a towel or a blanket or a block to rest your forehead on. And go ahead and just sink down. Let that child's pose open up your low back as we stretch through the shoulders. Your next inhale, slowly roll the spine, coming up one vertebrae at a time. Don't rush it. Use your fingers to help walk yourself back. Climbing all the way back up to a seated position. Sitting up tall here. And giving yourself a moment, rolling those shoulders out. They've worked really hard. Let's cross the right arm in front. Left arm comes underneath it. Let's wrap ourselves up and give ourselves a big hug, feeling a stretch between the shoulder blades. Thanking ourselves for showing up on our mat, making the time to just be here in our bodies, show ourselves some gratitude, and fill our hearts. Go ahead and unravel, and we're going to take it the other direction. Left arm on top this time, right arm on bottom. Wrap yourself up. No need to strain here. You may be all the way here, and that's fine. Just hug yourself where it's comfortable, you feel supported, and you get a little stretch in between the shoulder blades. Take a couple of nice deep breaths. Next, we're going to come onto our backs for a little bit of reclined pigeon. Give our hips another good stretch. Feel free to add in a blanket or a bolster here if you want some extra padding. If you have a thicker yoga mat for restorative practice, that's great too. Get settled, tucking your shoulder blades in. And we're going to lift the right foot up, cross it over the left knee. Then we're going to take both of our hands and put them underneath the left thigh, pulling it in closer to our chest. The right elbow is going to press against the right inner thigh, allowing us to have a little bit of leverage for a deeper stretch in our right hip flexor. Keep the toes active here and spread them apart. Pull them back towards your knees. That will help protect your knees as those muscles engage. Don't have to crank into it here. Just pull enough that you have a comfortable stretch, but you can still relax. No sweating today. Hip stretches are my favorite. They always feel so good. Deep breaths here. Breathe space into the hips. Thank them for carrying us, for helping us stand up and sit down and shake what our mamas gave us. On your next exhale, bring it down, and we're going to switch. So starting with knees bent, both soles of the feet on the ground. Left sole of the foot comes up, crosses over the right knee, and then we're taking both of our hands, clasping them underneath the right hamstring, pulling our legs in with the left elbow bracing against the left inner thigh. Keeping active toes here, pulling just enough to give us a good stretch, not enough to strain, no need to shake. We have nothing to prove. Ready, go ahead and bring both feet back to the floor, and we're going to windshield wiper the knees here, back and forth, giving a good massage on the glutes, helping the sciatic nerve get a little space. This is one of my very favorite stretches. I love how this feels in my low back and across my glutes. I carry a lot of tension in that area, as I'm sure many of you do. And it feels wonderful to just take a minute and be a little silly and wiggle it out. Bring your knees up a little bit, change the angle. Yogi's choice here. Just find what feels good. Bring your knees into the middle. Give them a nice deep hug. And we're going to end here today. Feel free to stretch out into Shavasana if you would like to. You can also stay wrapped up here if you need a little bit more comfort in your resting posture. Feel free. You can turn onto your side here, whatever makes you comfortable and helps you release and relax. Find that pose now. And we'll take a few breaths together to just let it all go, let the nutrients of our practice sink in. Body. Stretch out the toes, wiggle the fingers. Give yourself another hug. Maybe take a long wake up stretch. Get a good yawn out. And come back up to join me where we began, in a seated position. Thank you for sharing your practice with me today. Thank you for taking a moment to just be here in the moment, in the present, with yourself, to show yourself love and care, with the only goal being just to show up for yourself. It's so important, and I am so proud of both of us for showing up. Thank you very much for sharing your day and your practice with me. I'll see you tomorrow as we start week 3 of our LSIP challenge.